going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel, Cooking with Mama Mav. I am so happy to have you here with me today. So today's meal, y'all, pan-seared blackened salmon. So good. It's making my mouth water. I'm so excited to get this dish going. It's going to also be paired with roasted asparagus and garlic, cheesy, mashed potatoes. I don't know if y'all ready, but this is about to be the yummiest meal in the world. I mean, yeah, I'm sticking by it. I said it. I said what I said. Not taking it back. Yummiest meal in the world. So, before we jump into this video, if you have not subscribed to this channel, do it. Click it, click it, click. Subscribe, y'all. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would help me out so much. And if you want to be reminded at all times when a video is launched, hit the bell, y'all, so you get the notifications and you'll never be behind on any kind of meal, and you'll always be up to date on all your cooking skills. Ring the bell, boo. Ring it. And if you have any suggestions on what I should cook next, you leave that in the comments below and I will do it. Because that's what I do. This is a cooking channel, y'all. I cook on this channel. If you didn't know, now you know. There will be cooking done on the channel. So subscribe. Alright, y'all. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. For the garlic cheesy potatoes, you're going to need a couple of potatoes. It's up to you how many you want to use. For me, this is enough because my son actually doesn't like potatoes, so this is perfect for everybody that's going to eat it. You're going to need some cheese. The cheese is up to you what kind you want. I usually use the Mexican style cheese, which has two cheeses blended together, but today I decided to use some sharp cheddar. And I'm going to use a little bit of 2% milk. Don't normally put milk in my mashed potatoes, but this time I wanted them extra creamy, and the milk helps it get that way. It's also going to have a little bit of sour cream just for the flavor. That tartness pops really well. Some butter, salt, pepper, and of course garlic also. Now moving on to the asparagus. The asparagus are super simple. They're going to be roasted in the oven. So we have our asparagus here. It's up to you again how many you want to use. My family loves asparagus, so I got 2 bundles. And I'm going to put some onion powder on there with some Creole seasoning, and I'm also going to add some garlic to this as well. And for our main attraction, y'all just take a look at this beautiful fillet of salmon. So this is going to feed my family and some. I'll probably have some left over for tomorrow. So this is a perfect size for us. I'm going to, since it's going to be a blackened salmon, we're going to use dark seasonings. That's what actually helps with the blackening of the salmon. So I got some chili pepper here. I got some paprika, some garlic, some cayenne pepper, and for a sweet note with the spicy, I'm going to add some brown sugar. You guys, I promise you, this is going to taste so good. I'm so excited. Let's just get one more view of all the ingredients that you'll need. And now we are going to jump right into it. So here we go, y'all. First things first, we're going to get that beautiful salmon fillet out of its packaging, and we already know it goes straight to the water so it can get washed off, cleaned up. You never know what is on your meat because you were not there when they packaged the meat, right? So we're going to clean it off. We are also going to get out all the bones that you see and just put them to the side. Of course, you can throw them away later, but for now, we're just checking if there's any more and just giving it a real good wash. Y'all always remember to wash your meat before you cook it. Once we've washed off our meat, we're going to put it down on a paper towel and just give it a real good pat. We're going to dry it off, get all that extra water off of our meat. No matter how long it takes or what it takes, y'all just get all that extra water off. And once you've got all that excess water off of your meat, you're just going to flip that bad boy over and we are going to get rid of all the scales. Don't you worry, y'all. In this next clip coming up, I'm going to explain to you exactly what's going on here. Quick tip for you guys when you're doing the scales on your salmon. So the scales are edible when they're cooked. So you technically do not have to do what I just did. I wanted to get all the scales off because I want an even sear on my salmon. So that's why I took it off. But it's totally up to you. If you want to keep it on, you can take it off, whatever you want to do. But if you are going to take off the scales, you need to start at the bottom of the fish. So as y'all saw, I started from here and just inched my way up all the way to the top, but I kept bringing the back side of my knife down continuously. So I started here, worked my way up, but always went down and over it. So now the fish is, as you can see, no scales, super smooth. And it's ready to be seared after we season it, of course. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to know that part. Alright, y'all, now it's time for us to season this bad boy. The first thing we're going to put on there is some paprika. And we're just going to spread the seasonings evenly. We just want every spot of the meat to be covered so it all has flavor. Now we're going to do some chili powder. Just spread it on there evenly. It's up to you how much you want to do. Next, we got some garlic powder going on there. And then we got the cayenne pepper. Now, y'all be very, very careful with this one. Cayenne pepper is very spicy, so if you're not liking the heat, make sure you go easy on this one, or you might not even want to put it on at all. It would be up to you. As you can see now, I'm putting on some onion powder. And I'm just going to give that a good tap, rub, just getting all those flavors into the meat. Because you want every bite to have flavor in it, so you got to make sure you get that flavor in the meat. And now we're going to add brown sugar. I love some sweet to my heat, so I'm going to be very generous with this one. You don't have to be as generous as I was. But again, we're just going to tap that in there and just make sure it sticks to our meat. And you'll see how beautiful it looks when we're all done. As y'all can see, I already had the potatoes peeled. Now we're just chopping them up, putting them in the pot so they can get on the stove to boil. There's always time for a dance party, y'all. I don't even think I was listening to music, but you just feel it in your bones sometimes. All right, y'all, now it's time for us to tackle this asparagus. So when I bought the asparagus, it was just like this already. It had the rubber bands on it, so I just let it guide me on cutting to the part that I didn't want on there. Maybe to some I might have cut off too much, but for me, I like the tops of it. I don't like that hard bottom part. It just doesn't really cook down well for me, so I like to get rid of it before I put it on the cookie sheet. Now we're just getting them all placed well so they can all get seasoned evenly. We're going to go ahead and start off with some garlic, and we're just going to spread that garlic on there, just making sure that every piece gets the flavor it needs. And the next thing we're going to use is our Creole seasoning. We're just going to sprinkle that on top. And like I always say, y'all, it's up to you on what you want to put on there. How heavy or how light you want to go with seasoning. I love my food flavorful, so you might see me go a little bit heavier with some spices than others. There we have some onion powder. Just spreading that one all over. And we cannot forget our olive oil. We're just going to drizzle those asparagus with that, and we're going to pop them into the oven after we've rubbed all the seasoning all over it. And now we back to the filet, y'all. Look at how beautiful it is. It's been sitting there for a while, marinating while we've been doing other parts of the dishes. And it just looks so beautiful. So I'm doing about 2-inch cuts each piece, just trying to give it as even as possible and getting ready for it to go into the skillet, y'all. Okay, y'all, so what we've been waiting for is to put the salmon on the skillet. But before we do that, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information on searing your salmon. First, you want your salmon to be room temperature. You never want to cook your salmon cold because then it seizes up and it's not going to cook as evenly and it's going to dry out your salmon. So you don't want to do that. The best way to sear salmon is with the skin on. It's just tastes better, it holds the flavor better, and it cooks more evenly because that skin layer is the protection in between the meat and the heat. We're going to put our salmon skin down, and then you're going to see me push on it just a little bit so that the skin just stays flat, and you'll see when we flip it how crispy it is. It's great. So let me stop talking and let me get into showing you guys exactly what to do. All right, y'all, so we have our skillet. It's already heated up, as you can tell, because the butter is already melted. We're putting our filet in there, and look at it shrivel, y'all. Once it hit that heat, just wanted to shrivel up, and that's why we need to make sure that we give it a little push down on it so that skin can be even on the bottom, and it just looks more beautiful to the presentation, and it also helps it cook it evenly. So as you can see, I'm just giving it a little love, giving it a little tug, a little push. And making sure that butter is just touching it everywhere. And now I'm just making sure that the butter gets on top also, because it can stay cooking on the skin a little bit longer. But I also wanted the top to get a little bit cooked as well while we were waiting to flip it. So that's why I'm spooning the butter on top, so you can cook both sides at once. You don't have to, but it does help the meat actually be more juicy. And look, y'all, we got our blackened salmon. Hey, blackened salmon, we about to eat you. All right, so here we have the potatoes going into the bowl. I'm just cubing up some butter just so it makes it easier for me to mix it into the potatoes. Make sure you're giving it some good mashing. If you do have a masher, it would make it so much easier. But if not, a wooden spoon does just fine, as you guys saw. Here I'm going to put some garlic in there as our seasoning, some pink Himalayan salt, and then a little bit before, you guys could see that I mentioned, I don't know what happened to my video, but I did add some cheese and some sour cream, and it's up to you how much to use of that. It's to your taste. Right there, you saw me put in some pepper, and we're just giving that a good mix. So here we taste. Make sure you always taste your dish before you're done with it. And hello, honey. Them potatoes was so good. Right on point. And now it's time to plate, y'all. I am starting with the mashed potatoes. It's completely up to you what item you start with. I just like to build my plate with the heaviest thing first, and then go from there on how creative you want to get with placing all the rest of the items on the plate, because remember, you eat with your eyes before you get to taste anything. So if the plate looks delicious, people are just willing to jump in and go on that flavor roller coaster, y'all. Here you see the blackened salmon. I personally loved how it came out. 2 pieces for the hubby because he's a big man and he needs to eat and I need to keep him fed. So that's that. Now we have the asparagus. And I just laid those in different directions just to give it a little different height on the plate. And of course, the color of the asparagus helps it pop. And then we are just topping our mashed potatoes with some extra sharp cheddar cheese. And y'all, we did that thing. Look at that beauty. Y'all, look. I cannot get over how beautiful this dish came out. Y'all already know it is on its way to the hubby. He has been waiting patiently like always, smelling all the flavors. And y'all, every time he get his little plate, he is just happy as can be. Yes, we did it. Okay, y'all, so this is the final product. You already seen me deliver the goods to my husband, and off camera my son had some. They approve, so I'm gonna take my bite on camera, which I've never done before, but why not do it now? So here we go.
I love the skinny part. It's like crisp.
Yeah, it is so good.
It's so good.
I did that. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I appreciate you like always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because I would greatly appreciate it and it would help me so much. With all that being said, I love you guys like always, and until next time, bye.